This is the Weigh In Podcast by Benoit Chestnut.
And Sebastian Romero.
And on this week's Weigh In Podcast, we bring to you, well, not more of the hottest news because you guys have probably already been in it. We'll address the issues if you're wondering why you never got the end. On this week's Weigh In, we bring to you, it's not really the hottest news, but as we were just saying, Um, you didn't get the ending to what happened in our NCAA women's wrestling draft. That is because we'll be bringing you the final score on Thursday's Epi. And that we'll talk more on Thursday. But on today's episode of Getting Into It, we're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez wanting to become undisputed again. And that Alexander Pereira, that Pereira card for UFC. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So as we get into it, as we want to get into it, here on the weigh-in. So that Alexander, let's get into Canelo. My partner's going to handle all that Alexander. I'm going to doubt you guys in on that Canelo Alvarez. That sounds fair. So Canelo Alvarez is going to fight for that IBF. So now what I think here is going on is I think he's taking the chance to he's taking the gutful chance here to become undisputed again. And now, why I like this, I know we talked about we wanted that David Benavidez matchup. Why I like him doing this now is because now the next guy he faces, he'll be undisputed after the fact. So if it's Jake Paul, he's undisputed. If it's David Benavidez, he's undisputed. You understand what I'm saying? That no matter where he goes, it's going to be he's undisputed. And I think that's a great way to go when it comes in terms of Saul
Yes.
Canelo Alvarez. You want to be undisputed. Now, whoever beats him, if they beat him, I say it for whoever, because as we later seen, we saw during that Tank fight, even Tank has a chance to go down. And he didn't go down, he got tied. But that's besides the point. I definitely think this Canelo matchup, this Saul Canelo Alvarez matchup, is going to be real interesting. And I'm going to tell you why it's going to be interesting. I know you guys want to know. Because whoever beats him will have the chance to be undisputed. They won't have to finish one more bout. They will be undisputed during that night. And that is why I like this matchup of Saul Canelo Alvarez. I like it for that reason. That's one of the reasons I like it. That's one of the reasons I think this is a great matchup to go towards. That's one of the reasons I actually like this Saul Canelo Alvarez going through, because there is a possibility here that will happen is Saul Canelo Alvarez becoming undisputed. Saul Canelo Alvarez being able to become that undisputed champion once again, and only missing one bout, he gets that chance. That's a great chance he gets. That's a chance I like for him to have, and that's one chance I don't. I think that Canelo needs to have. I think it's a chance where you say, hey, Saul Canelo Alvarez is going to become undisputed again. You know, what I will ding him for is vacating the belt. Should have never vacated the belt. Saul Canelo Alvarez should have never vacated his belt. I kind of feel like that's not something Saul should have ever done. Vacating the belt was not something that I think he should have took that fight first, man. You should have took that belt fight first, because that is something that is very interesting. That is something that we all wanted to see. That is something that we all changed for. Is that Saul Canelo Alvarez? He should have took this first. IBF told you, instead of letting your stuff get stripped, you should have took the belt. You should have took the fight, the mandatory. Now you're going
Yes.
and you're saying, I want to take his belt from him. I want to take it. Hey, is there such thing as too late? Because I feel like it's too late. You've already lost the belt. Now you want to go get it back. So is this something that you did, lining the fans up to say now he's got your last belt again? So is this going to be like Caleb Plant or a Billy Joel Saunders fight? We're going to see somebody else hit the canvas once again with a 1-2. Okay. So let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. This is a boxing world right now where just about anybody can go down. You don't know what's going to happen in this boxing world. You don't know. I look at it like this. I always said every fight is one shot from anybody, from anybody losing. And I say that because Tank Davis, I know you all already know what happened with Tank. Tank Davis got beat. He got beat. Whether it was a tie card, but I felt he got beat. So when we talk about that Tank Davis getting beat, think about this as we're gonna get in on this. That Tank Davis getting beat. Tank got beat. Now there's nothing more we can say here. This is a boxing world where anybody can get beat. Anybody can get beat. Anybody can get beat. Nobody's untouchable.
Exactly.
And that's that boxing world we talk about. It doesn't matter, man. That's what we said. Doing your best self, man. When you go in there, it don't matter what your opponent's record is, or what her record is. It don't matter. What matters is the time it takes you to finish them. That's what matters. And that's why I think Canelo did it this way, because now you line up that matchup with the guy that has the last IBF. He looked real good. And let's get a little off track here. Hey, let's talk about Angelino. This has been a long time since we said anything about Angelino on the podcast. Bro, he's got a fight coming up. And I say this because, listen, as much as I want a card in Ecuador, this is another thing that I'm very passionate about. If Angelino wins this next fight to get the Sebastian, correct me if I'm wrong here. It's the WBO world title.
Yes, exactly.
The WBC says they still owe him that rematch. So is there a path here? And would you guys like to see that on a full video on Angelino's path to two world titles? Because you asked me, I think he's WBO champ, and I think he could snatch that WBC.
And he becomes undisputed.
Two more, and he comes undisputed. Right. So now, I mean, this originally was supposed to be talking about Canelo, but come on, man. You guys, everybody here's Canelo. Let's talk about the hottest news. The hottest news. Angelino's path to getting undisputed. Trust me. That's something that you want to hear. That's something you have waited densible.
Exactly.
It's been a long time since we talked about Angelino on this podcast. It's time for us to bring it back. Let's bring it back to the El Campeon.
Bring it back downtown.
Right. Bring it back downtown. Any words you want to say in regards to, if we're gonna switch it up with this Angelino?
No, yeah, Angelino Cordova, he's a great Venezuelan boxer who started boxing in Venezuela, and then after Venezuela, he came boxing over here in the United States and met a perfect guy who
Whoa, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you there because the truth to the story is he did not go straight to New Jersey. He was in Memphis. I believe he was in Memphis first before he was in a couple places in New Jersey before he got to Roselle Park. But keep going. I'm just trying to make sure, that,
he didn't go straight to New Jersey.
I don't remember exactly
somewhere
where,
else
but
first. I don't remember either where he went first, but he went first somewhere else. Then after that, when he finished somewhere else here in the United States, then he came to Rosa Park, New Jersey, where he met his idol, somebody who helped him become where he is today in the United States, in the best boxing gym ever, on my point of view, Park Elite Boxing Academy in Rosa Park, New Jersey, and the trainer there and the owner, who's Percy Galeno, who was also a Filipino boxer. Angelino met Percy, and then Percy helped Angelino Cordova to become a better Venezuelan boxer here in the States and win his 2 titles that he has now. Until now that Angelino he lives in Las Vegas with Mega Cultural Promotions and has the best thing is coming. But he came from being a Venezuelan boxer in Venezuela to being something great in the United States, all thanks to his trainer and Percy Galeno, who got him when he came from Venezuela to over here.
Right. So it was 2 upset wins under Percy, right? 2 upset wins under Percy. Two upset wins under Percy, and he's got us where he is. And there's a reason I say this, because if you haven't seen, he's set to compete in a bout that will determine who's going to fight for the WBO world title. But WBC already told him they're going to give him another shot. So if he gets both of those, we're talking about he would be only needing two more to becoming undisputed. I understand it's not easy, but Angelino, you know, Percy has touched a lot of great boxers. Percy has taught a lot of great boxers,
Exactly.
like Daniel, Dangerous Daniel Gonzalez, who gets the work done. Percy trained Daniel. Percy was not a full head of Jose Nueves, but he was, part of it.
Percy, Percy trained you. Percy trained me. He trained a bunch of
No,
great
no,
boxers.
Mervin trained you. Merv Luciano. Yeah.
And
Uh-uh.
Jose Nueves.
Merv Luciano trained you. You got trained by Mervin Luciano. That
And
was,
Jose
and you know
Nueves.
what? You talk about, oh my God, like, you know, we talked about this, and this is one thing that we never understood. So, for you viewers that are OG wrestlers, we're going to kind of give you some backstory here. We had a trainer in Park Elite, Tony Santana. If many of you don't remember Tony Santana, he was part of the Jerry Cooney or the Cooney Boxing Gym in Brawlhouse. If any of you OG wrestlers that watch remember Brawlhouse, Tony Santana was one of the boxing guys over there. Now trains Park
Exactly.
Elite, Roselle Park. So I did some work with Percy. I work with Percy at a point in time. Mervin, when I first started, Mervin was showing me how to box. I give him 100% credit. Mervin showed me the game. Mervin got me going. Then Jose Nueves, what is it? His father's Jose Nueves Senior, right?
Yes.
Jose Nueves Senior. I was over working with Jose Nueves Senior. Then after that, as soon as Tony joined the gym, Tony really gave me everything that was it. Tony taught me so much, the secrets to boxing. Tony taught me so much, and even Percy too. All of them taught me things that still stick with me today. The stuff that Tony taught me is, and there's one guy we can't forget to mention, Pop, man. Pop really taught us
Joseph
everything.
Figueroa.
Yeah, bro. Pop, Pop the real G of the gym, man.
But you
Has
have
had.
to
Go ahead,
finish
go
what
ahead.
you say, and then I'll say mine.
Nah, Pop has done so many pro fights. Like, I know this episode was supposed to be about Canelo and Alexander Pereira, but you guys already know. We get so sidetracked the minute we start filming that like these episodes turn towards anything. Honestly, like I think at this point you're gonna already know, but this is gonna be titled, bro. Your talks on like this definitely is gonna be an episode where we're talking, embarking on our New Jersey journey, like going over our NJ boxing journey, because the things I learned from Pop. Pop says the best thing, I'm not gonna give away the true secret. I'm just gonna give you a tip. Pop always says, best thing you can always do is jab. If nothing else, you can jab to keep your space, jab. And that's what I learned so much from Pop is just throw a good jab, keep that jab, get your good jab. Don't worry about left and right hook. Just make sure as long as you get a strong jab, Pop taught me that, and there's just so much that I learned in that gym, and you know, I'm gonna hand it over, to Sebastian, because I know he wanted to get his stuff in, but we're embarking on our journey from New Jersey, like that. There was a tremendous amount of support from everybody when this podcast came up, and like honestly, the support is always still there. We have the same guys we're able to say, hey, what, that we reach out and say, what does this mean wrestling wise? What are the new rules? Same guys boxing wise when we say, hey, what happened there, when it comes to that. But, I'm going to turn it over to him, you know, as we kind of just changed our segment while recording.
So what I was gonna say is that let's track back to how football players come to being boxers.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Let's run with it.
So as for me and Benoit, we were football players, and we used to do that. Even though you want to know the truth, he stayed. Oh, as much as I'm gonna say this here for anybody who wants to know the truth, because I know there's a lot of lies and about a lot of stuff. And for everybody I lied to you, I'm sorry, but I gotta tell the truth now because I want to get this whole story. So me and Benoit were football players, but I quit playing football. I quit playing football while Benoit stayed the whole time playing football
No,
for
I was
like
only there for two years, buddy. Nah, I don't even. We're gonna tell the truth here. I was only there my freshman and my sophomore year. I continued to play after that. Um, if anybody really knows, I kind of focused on wrestling and marching band, and that was it. But I just to kind of I want the right stuff. Go ahead.
yeah, so as yes, we me and Benoit both played football, but I ended up quitting football, and then Benoit stayed 2 more years with the Rosa Park Panthers. Where that's the thing is, how did football players come to boxers? So what is before me and Benoit were ever boxers, we played football, as I mentioned. Then after we did that, when Angel and this is also how we met Angelino. When Angelino came to Rosa Park to live, and with
Untold
Percy,
story.
huh?
The untold story.
That's
The
the
untold
story.
story of
When
how
he
we met
first came,
Angelino.
I never knew Park Elite Boxing Academy. I never knew the town we used to live in Rosa Park, New Jersey. I never knew we had a boxing gym there until Benoit comes one day to when he stays over at my house for 2 weeks, and he shows me that Angelino's fighting, and
Yeah,
that
we saw the
Percy's there
poster on the
too.
door.
Huh?
We saw the poster on the door of Park View. I said, "Oh, a boxing fight, boxing fight. That's tonight."
So then we realized there was a gym called Park Elite Boxing Academy. And then we saw that Angelino was fighting, and we still didn't know who he was. So then after Benoit told me who Angelino was, we watched his fight. And after we saw his fight when he won and everything, the next day we're like, you know what? We want to be boxers, so let's go to Park Elite Boxing Academy. So we go to Park Elite Boxing Academy, and then we meet Percy, we meet Angelino, we meet so many other people there that it was like family. I felt like we were born to be in this boxing gym and box. So we met Percy, we met Angelino, that we're great friends and family with now. And we met Jose, we met Pop, we met everybody. So this is crazy how from seeing a fight, we went to Park Elite to start boxing, and we met the champion Angelino. We met Percy, the trainer and the owner. We met Pop. We went Jose Nueves, Murph. We met everybody. And since that day, right now, I think it's I have a photo on the exact day we first started boxing and we met Angelino Percy. I think it's already been like maybe 3, 4 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know it's been a few years, but I have the exact day when it happened. I don't know when it happened, but I know the exact day when that happened was a few years ago.
I got you. I'm gonna get you like a time frame, brother. So we're gonna break this down like live, brother. We're gonna break this down.
It was the
So
first time we went there. We got a picture of Angelino in
so
person.
it's got to be over because over 1 year ago, probably we're coming up on two. Over 1 year ago, we posted our first episode, and that was Dangerous Daniel from the Rise to Jake. That was our first video over 1 year ago. We were boxing way before then, so I would say about 2 years because we started way before. Around March we started, so I would say about it's been 2 years, 2 years of of in this boxing.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm
Yeah.
looking at I'm looking at I'm looking
Yo,
at
so
the
if,
first
if we
picture
give
we
you a
ever
little
took.
backstory, so we're gonna give you a little bit of park history. For those who don't know, before that was a boxing gym, it was a karate school. It was called ATA Martial Arts, and then it turned into a boxing gym. Now, Roselle Park, because that's not their first hand at combat sports. They had a gym years ago. I'm gonna see if I could find the image and bring it back. So really, when that first gym came out, um, I'm gonna look for it. When that first gym we had, I believe it was like kickboxing. It wasn't anything like it wasn't straight boxing. So just to put that across. But I'm definitely gonna look to see if I could find that image. Um, I believe it did a bunch of other stuff too, but I'm gonna see if I can find it. Because the other day we were talking about this, like you know the the amount of like combat that has come out of Roselle Park is absolutely like crazy. And that's
And
one
I'm
thing
looking,
we're
I'm
talking
looking at
about.
the photo of the first time we met them, when it was the first time we went to Park
Yeah, there's so
Lee.
much that we're getting. So while
All
you
right, I
do,
have it right here.
all right, go ahead. Go ahead. Break it down for us.
So what year are we?
What do you mean? We're in
2025.
2025, bro.
It's been 3 years. The first time we ever met him in person in Park Lee was July 26th, 2022.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is like, yeah, so we're embarking here. Like there is a lot of things that in this journey we have learned and that we share with you guys, and that is one of them. Like being able to go and learn from like just
But yeah, so it's been already 3 years since July 26th when we started. We met Park Elite, Angelino, Percy, the whole gang. And since then, it's been a blessing. We met them because we're family with them. We chill with them when we go down to Rosa Park, and they're always part of the family. And with Angelino, we stay in touch. And he's such a great person with him, his kid, and his family, and his daughter. Like, he's such a great person, and he's has a heart and soul, and he's a good fighter, and he's gonna win his WBO belt and the WBA and then become on the undisputed. As much as now how we started in Parkley Boxing Academy in Rose Park, New Jersey, and now as me, I live in Florida and then one in North Carolina. We both have different boxing gyms. Me here in Florida, him in North Carolina. We had new boxing gyms, but that doesn't mean we're against Park Lee or nothing because we started in Park Lee, and that's where we started in Park Lee, and we're always going to be part of Park Lee. Yes, we have new gyms over here, but that doesn't mean nothing because we started in Park Lee, and that's where we're always going to be part of.
right. That's you always that's the one thing we used to always say, remember where you started. And I say that because that is the one thing I always talked about was you got to remember where you started. You have to remember where you started, and that's just the one thing we've talked about is saying, "Hey, remember where you started," and that's one thing why we always bring it up is because I say you got to remember where you started. And one thing I always say is you have to, and that's why I always talk about, you got to always remember that where you started. It's just always so much to learn, and just it's just amazing things that I talk about, and that's why most of the time you hear us say, "Hey, you know, you got to remember where you started," and that is the greatest thing to do is just remember where you started, where you came off first, and just all that stuff because it makes a difference. People don't think so, but I'll tell you what, it makes a difference for guys like me and Sebastian who have learned over the years and have learned so much, like just from all the things we've all the things we've done in life. We've learned.
And then,
And go ahead, go ahead.
and then I also was gonna say one thing. Don't when you do sports or you do anything, don't lie about it and tell the truth because you do lie about it, it comes back to you. And I learned from my lesson. I used to tell everybody I played football my 4 years in varsity, and that's not true. I didn't go by 3 days or to a week, and then I quit because I thought football was going to be my career. I thought I was going to be in the NFL. I thought it was going to be awesome, but for me, it didn't turn out like that. It was 3 days or one week. I quit, and I ended up telling everybody I still play football. I lied to some of the people because I was like, you know what? Let me lie about it because, like, who gives? Who cares? But I'm like, don't lie about it because then people who know you are gonna tell the truth, and then it's gonna ruin you and give you karma. So if it goes to any sports, don't lie and tell the truth. With boxing, we do, so that's true. With football. Benoit was there 2 years and played for the Roseburg Panthers. I was there for 1 week, and I quit because I couldn't do it. And I never really played football as long as just practice with the team. I never did a scrimmage. I never played real football with a team because I never really played. I was there 3 days or a week, and then I quit. While Benoit still 2 years, and he played scrimmages, he played games, and he did all that because he was actually in the team. I quit, and I didn't do that. While I focused on doing the chains. And that was real because I really did the chains. After I quit football, I'm like, you know what? I still want to be part of the football team because I'm not playing no more. So I'm like, let me do the chains. So I was working and doing the
Yo,
chains for the Rosberg.
I got you, brother. I got you. So let's we're gonna bring it back real quick. I found the image. It was Olympic TDK MMA, which was in Roselle Park years ago. Years ago, it was an they ran an after school program, birthday parties, but they were like almost the first, like they were almost the
It
first
was
gym. They did
karate because
kickboxing.
it was karate because Camila and Christina used to be doing that.
No, 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 no. That's ATA, bro. ATA was that gym over by. We're talking about close by Dunkin', the Dunkin' Donuts. Like there used to be a kickboxing gym, like right across the street. It was a bike shop, and then it was kickboxing. Years ago, man. Years ago, man. It was just we're bringing it back to the combat sports of Roselle Park. But please do continue. I just wanted to get that image out there,
No,
brother.
you're good. But like I was saying is so after I didn't play football and I wanted to be part of the football team because like my friends played, Benoit played, and I was like, how can I do that? Then I did the chains for the Rose Park Panthers. My whole years there, I did it. Instead of playing football, I was part of the team doing the chains. And then I love that because I was still part of the football team. Yes, I wasn't playing, but I got to be in the line with the team. I got to do the chains. I got to get paid. It was something great that not only I worked it, but I got to be with the team. And I thought doing that was so good. I was upset that I didn't play football, but then I was like, I don't care because I'm happy doing the chains. And then after I did the chains for so long since we graduated high school in 2018,
She graduated
then
2018.
after that, that's when we found the boxing gym. And then when we found the boxing gym, we started boxing. And until now, we're boxing if it's in Rosa Park when we go visit or wherever we live now.
Right, 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 right.
Um,
I can't believe this took this kind of a turn because we were like really we were supposed to be talking about Canelo and Alexander Pereira. And when we got on here, we just kind of embarked our journey. And this is we're gonna make this a two-part series. We're Next week's episode is gonna be on this journey because we just did not get enough time here today.
and yeah, so my point of view is just don't lie. Always tell the truth in your sports and everything will be great. Now, I do want to do my topic on here quick because we talked about Canelo. I don't know, I know we don't have a lot of time left, but I'm gonna give you a quick little UFC stuff.
Yeah, so go ahead and dodge that in this last final 8 minutes and that we've got going on in 34 seconds, if
Mhm.
that helps you. But go ahead.
All right, so Alex Pereira, the former UFC champion, and the former because Alex Pereira, he's a Brazilian boxer, and he was the former champ. He fought for the main event against Mongolian Anichor. I can't say his name. His name is Russian because he's a Russian UFC fighter. So if I say his name wrong, Magoya, whatever. If I say his name wrong, you correct me. But he's a Russian UFC fighter, and he fought for the belt of Alex Pereira. And the fight was so good. They both fought so good, and it was the best fight ever. As I saw the fight and I watched highlights. Then also, it didn't turn out like we all thought. We thought Alex Pereira was going to knock him out. That never happened. So the fight went to final decision. When it ended in round five decision with 5 minutes that ended. The Russian boxer, the Russian UFC fighter, beat Alex Pereira, who was the former champ. He lost, and now by final decision. Now Alex Pereira doesn't have a belt. He doesn't have nothing. Now the Russian UFC fighter, he is the champ.
Yeah,
He
Magomed.
has the belt.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just saying Magomed.
Magome, yeah. So he's the UFC championship now, the Russian boxer, and now Alex Pereira doesn't have nothing. But the fight was so good and they fought so good. But the Russian took the win and won by final decision.
Yeah, I think it was great, great card, great event. I caught a glimpse of it. Didn't really catch that card.
Uh-huh. What's that?
Yeah, so Magomed and Goliath is the name used. We're trying to hear, but you know, as we come drawing to an end, um, this is like the first time we've ever actually come to you, and we're gonna say this. We know what our segment next week is gonna be. We're gonna embark our journey from here to now. We're gonna give you that update. We're definitely gonna embark that journey because we've learned so much in that journey, so much back and forth, and we are going to embark that journey for you guys. You know, so I'm gonna let him hit this ending, and then we'll get to my end, and
How
that
many
is this.
minutes do we have left?
To accurately give you a time, we have 5 minutes and 32 seconds.
All right, so I'll give you my ending, then I will let Chestnut give. So, like I always say, hope you guys enjoy this Wade video, giving you the best sports center, giving you the best thing you like. And stay tuned for we're posting this video. We're gonna post this video Tuesday at 7 p.m. And then on
Today
Thursday.
is Tuesday, brother.
Oh, you want to tell them that we filmed today?
I mean, we did. We actually did. This is the
All right,
same
guys.
day epi. We're
So
not perfect.
we filmed today's video today, Tuesday, and the date's gonna be posted. And right now it's 3:08 p.m. You got you got 4 hours until this is gonna be posted at 7 p.m. And you're gonna enjoy it because we gave you uncensored. And,
I mean, technically we did, but not uncensored because last video you threw something in there, and oh, don't worry for the fans. I found it and I took it out.
and I told the truth on stuff that a lot of my family or cousins I lied about. So they're gonna know the truth after they see this video. But I'm glad I said it because I'm like, I can't keep hoping and lying about it. I'm like, you gotta say real, no fake news, real news. Tell the real stuff and don't lie.
You know
And
what? That's
we'll
that's what
start.
we said. You're bettering yourself. You're bettering yourself here.
And just enjoy this video when you see it at 7 p.m. and then you'll be ready for Thursday's video at 7 p.m. So like our video, subscribe, click the notifications bell below. Every time you see us post Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. And we're gonna give you videos every time we post. That's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and we're gonna give you the best thing ever. And this is the best video ever, the Wayne Podcast. And love you guys. And let me pass it to Bella Chestnut.
All right. With that being said, that is my always I end with that. But with that being said, this is the weigh in by Benoit Chestnut.
That's Sebastian Romero.
And that is this week's weigh in podcast. But stay tuned as this week was more of that journey broken down. But don't worry, we are going to bring to you a full breakdown
Yes.
update next week.
Yes, don't worry about it, sweetheart. It's just a blimp.
Weigh in out.
Peace out. Woo!